Hey guys, I'm just back in the warehouse to shoot a quick video. I've been busy packing and shipping all your orders this week because we got 4 big shipments in and we've been busy and I've been swamped and I just haven't had time to shoot a decent video. So in the meantime, let me just show you what came in, so hang tight here. So we got Space 1999, Eagle and Hawk. This is a 2-kit set from War Games. They featured both these ships. You get 2 models, and you can build them both, and they provide paint schemes for an alternative Hawk. If you haven't got either of these kits, it's a good opportunity. Great package. The Eagle, 1/72nd scale Eagle, is no longer available, and the Hawks are just about sold out. So if you want both of these kits, now's a good way to get them. All right, moving on. This is the Metamorph Eagle Special Edition. It is for the 50th anniversary of Space 1999. This is the Eagle with the lab pod and the thrusters. It comes with this diorama background, right? It's vacuum form, it's 3 walls and a floor, and these 2 lampposts. Little look at the back of the package so you can see what it looks like when it's assembled. All right, let's move around the corner. Over here we have Enterprise Ease. This is the ship from Star Trek First Contact. It's been in a couple of the Trek movies. This reissue has colored plastic parts for the nacelles and the impulse engines, and it is molded in a translucent plastic like a lot of the other kits have been, so it's easy to light the ports. So you basically paint the kit and then scrape out the windows, and then your light will shine through them. Of course, you have to provide the light kit yourself. Kit is 1/1400 scale, so it is in scale with the Enterprise D and the Enterprise C model kits. Over here, we have Vincent. This is the first kit from the Black Hole, the reissue from like 50 years ago. The MPC kit, it's molded in 2 colors of plastic. It comes with an extensive set of decals, and you can build him multiple different ways with different attachments, either out like that or retracted. And this has been highly anticipated. Lots of people wanting it. These have been selling very quickly. We may run out. I've got more on order. Hope to have them in a week or 2. So that's just a quick look at what came in this week. Check the website out for all the restocks that came in from round 2, Bandai and a few others. Well worth checking out. Now, I have had a chance to take a look at a couple of the Airfix kits that came in 2 weeks ago. So we'll take a look at those now. All right, you guys know Kirk Schermerhorn. He helps me out at Wonderfest. He's helping me today with these previews for the Artemis from Airfix. And we're gonna also look at the Space Shuttle from Airfix. And we are going to take a look at the Airfix Artemis kit. First thing I'm going to point out to you, this is a 2-sided box. This is the horizontal side, which shows the rockets separating. And on the other side, it's vertical, showing a liftoff. Okay, now just to be clear, you do not get a launch tower with this. It is just the rockets. So we're going to take a look and show you what you get in the box. All right, first off, this is the main launch tank. You got the top of the nose cones there, and you've got the other pieces for the main tank right here. So this is, you can see, is a pretty good size kit. The tank is probably, I would say, 14 inches long. Okay, next we are looking at all the greebly little pieces. You've got the nose cone there, you've got all these little supports and little other gribbly pieces that are going to go on the boosters. And then what you have are 2 identical sprues that each one makes up a booster with the engine parts and the main tanks and the other little details you'll need. We would be remiss if we didn't point out this does have a base. I said it does not come with a launch tower, but it does have a little stand that goes right into the boosters. All right, this is the nice decal sheet. Now, the cool thing about these is if I zoom in on the NASA, you'll see there's a little bit of unevenness on that. That's because the decals have to wrap around this little piping. You get the NASA meatballs, the flags, even an Airfix logo. Here's a quick glance at the instructions. All these fine little details even on the escape thrusters. These are those little brace parts that we were talking about that goes at the top of the main tank. And there you have what the model will look like when it's assembled. Yeah. One last thing we're going to look at is the paint guide, and shows you the colors and where to put them on the main tanks, which obviously is that gloss orange. On the other side, it shows you how to paint the upper stage. So a very well done model kit. We look forward to seeing some of these built up. Okay folks, we've got a second sneak preview for you. This is the Airfix Space Shuttle, and much like the Artemis, it's a two-sided box. Here's the horizontal version. Much like the Artemis, it shows the spacecraft separating from the boosters. And on the other side, we have the horizontal version showing the spacecraft launching in flight. So basically with the Airfix Space Shuttle, you get 3 sprues of parts. All right, the first sprue contains half of the orbiter, and you actually have the Space Lab cargo bay insert, as well as landing gear if you want to display it in the landing position. The second sprue contains the other side of the orbiter as well as the underside of the orbiter. You have the doors for the landing gear, you have the nozzles for the engines, as well as one of the boosters. Finally, on the third sprue, you have the nose cones for the tank. You have the second booster, as well as the miscellaneous parts, shuttle bay doors, the rear where the engine mounts are, the engine coves. And don't let me forget the clear sprue for the window parts. We're going to take a short look at the decal sheet, and as you can see, it's got the complete markings for various shuttles: Enterprise, Columbia, Challenger, Discovery, Atlantis, Endeavour, as well as various panels and markings that you would expect to find on the orbiter. Now we're going to skip ahead to the instruction booklet. Again, basic assembly instructions, your orbiter, your tank, the boosters, and the final assembly. Now, let's quickly look at the first of several decal and paint instructions. And here it shows configurations for the Enterprise, first from 1976 to 1983, and the Enterprise afterwards, after 1983. The back page shows configurations and schemes for Columbia, first from 81 to 86, and then 89 to 99. And here is a larger placement sheet, which has markings for Challenger from 83 to 86, the Discovery, Atlantis, and Endeavour throughout the 80s and 90s, as well as the shuttles from the late 90s to the early 2000s. When you flip it over, we have all the painting guidelines for the boosters and the fuel tank. So there you have it. We've looked at the Space Shuttle kit from Airfix, and we looked at the Artemis from Airfix today. So take care, guys. Enjoy the long weekend, and we will talk soon.